Alright. Should be going again. Let's get to it. That's actually a little weird. I had put in for the description for the first time I was here that the reality was far worse. But I didn't actually talk about that much.
Wolfgang, der hier.
Jawohl, Lagerkommandant! Durch die Tür, Sausack!
I mean, what actually was happening in the concentration camps was far worse.
Like cattle in this place. Just stay calm.
There's a book I read. It was made into a movie as well.
Count to 4. Inhale.
But the book has more in there, called Password is Courage. It's also the name of the movie, if you want to try looking that up.
The first day is tough, my friend. Clear to accept. It gets no easier to me.
And
Now I can remember near how many weeks long, months.
I think I'll let...
Not many survive for long. I was fighting the Nazis in Africa. I held them back for a while. My intellect, it was too strong. Now I just try to survive, day for day.
I'm looking for a man called Set Rod.
I have heard of him. Survived in here longer than any other. He's in Block 4. Jay want to go there? Jay need director uniform. Look for a prisoner over there, by your right, dressed in a Block 4 uniform. Say now, Miss Milo. I heard his wife is quartered in our block. Maybe that will convince him to trade uniforms, let yo. But they need to distract the guards first.
Nice.
Think the way to distract the guards. They want you closely.
Come on. There we go. I'm okay. Now we're getting something. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't getting the prompts, and I didn't remember what they were. So, the story of the Password is Courage follows. It's actually ironic. The guy's name is Coward, but a British sergeant major who was captured, and it's definitely kind of interesting and amusing some things that happens to him. But he actually was one of the POWs kept at the POW portion of Auschwitz, because there were multiple camps there. He was there, and at one point he actually snuck into the other portion where the Jews were being kept and killed.
He's not dead.
And so the book actually describes what happened there, but he also testified at the Nuremberg trials, and then I'm pretty sure did say he also testified later, because what some ended up doing was suing the companies. Because Auschwitz wasn't just a concentration camp, it was also a labor camp like this. So there were companies that were getting this labor out of them. So people sued those companies for back pay. And it worked. That actually worked. Not all of the Nuremberg trials actually found people guilty. But yeah.
I hope they find what they seek, my friend. My name is.
But some of the stuff described there is just.
Safe.
It's definitely horrific. But one other thing that he says in the book that he did is that hang on, I just need. Is there? No, there is.
Pokeball. From east to west.
And the number of people. Some people say that what he wrote about, what was written about him, the stories that he told weren't necessarily his own, but could have been multiple people, and also that some numbers that he gave are incorrect, but that what he would do is This is actually an upgrade to what he described being the actual conditions in the game. Oh my god, this toilet paper. Yes, this is orders of magnitude better than what was described. But what he would do, because there would be people that would just die within the camp, not necessarily the gas chambers, he started actually buying the bodies off of one of the Nazi guards that was overseeing that entrance. The reason why is he would then put them, he and other POWs would put them along the walkway into the gas chambers, because that was always done. The march there was done in the morning when it was still kind of dark out. So what would happen, and they would arrange this, some number of those being marched to the gas chambers would actually fall out of the line, and then they'd give them all the clothes and such, and they'd get to escape. So then when the Nazis realize that, hey, we don't have the right number, when they go back along the path, they find the dead bodies and figure they just died while marching there and fell off to the side.
Set Roth?
Look at this Shimshin. So much muscle, a physique, what for combat?
You said Roth?
I'm not sure yet. What do you know of Setroth?
That you should. Source of the Nazi technology. I'm here to rescue you.
You're here to this is wonderful. He's here to rescue me. Who will rescue
Very interesting book, but
Pay your
it's...
back, Shimshin. Don't waste your time.
And the movie is also very interesting, though they didn't actually show anything from within Auschwitz in the movie.
So it's a transaction of sorts.
That's basically just skipped.
For the secrets I swore to keep. Sacrifice my honor on the altar of righteousness. Well, permit me a moment to consider, Shimshin. Here's my proposition to you. Aid me in closing this place down, and I will seat you and your comrades at the table of true power.
Deal.
I've been working on a little project. That machine there, it moves because of stolen Das Yehud technology. I know it very well. Now this... Don't look at this so bluntly. This I can seize control over that machine, level the gates of this place, free everyone. I only miss one more part.
Name it.
That's a power source. Now, that machine, well, its electrical systems are powered by a detonic battery. You can find the detonic battery at the service station.
I just moved my foot in case things go wonky.
Block 6. If you can disable the automatic security systems monitoring the exits, you'll be able to make it into Block 6. I believe that there, at the guards' barracks, there's a control module. It controls the security systems. Find a way in. Locate the control module. Disable the systems. Come back to me.
Right, and talk to her about the butcher.
You are a big man. I can see you still. I was a big
Oh, God. Stench in here.
Well, yeah, there's no point in trying to avoid the encounter. It's scripted, but also I don't have a weapon, so...
Dachtest wohl, du könntest dich in mein Haus schleichen, was? Solche Dreistigkeit habe ich von Ungeziefern wie dir noch nie gesehen. Unglaublich. Da denkt man wüsste, wie ein Insekt denkt. Und was von ihm zu erwarten ist. Doch weit gefehlt. Du erbärmliches Stück Scheiße. Ich werde jede einzelne Kakerlake zertreten.
wonder if anyone's tried to figure out who is the hardest video game protagonist kill. Because EJ would be quite high up on the list. Yeah, might. That's what I'm... Another story I'd heard is Charlie Chaplin, for more than one reason, was very sensitive about the Holocaust, and one thing that he ended up doing is he kept, and this is going to sound weird, but he kept a photo album of various pictures taken of, you know, when the various camps were liberated. And it may sound weird to have a photo album of that, or very dark and disturbing, but it was to ensure that he at least would not forget, but also others. And the story I had heard is that he actually, one of his children had friends over, there was a party, and one of the friends made a remark basically denying the Holocaust. He grabbed her, took her up to a room, pulled out the photo album, and went through it with her. And she never came back. She never returned to that house because of it. But no, he was... He was sensitive about it. See, one of the reasons was that there's certain parallels between him and Hitler. Like, they were actually the same age, I think. I think it may have been they were born in the same month, and there were other dates that actually kind of align. But both also used people to an extent. You know, were showmen. But he also felt horrible, though, because he had made, in a mocking protest of Hitler, the movie The Great Dictator, which is a very good movie, very good. But he later, I mean, it is one of those movies that the argument can be made that it helped prepare
a control module for the security systems.
The people in America to go to war because of what it showed. But what he, when it was actually learned what was going on in the concentration camp, and the actual pogroms and such, he actually admitted he wished he hadn't made a comedy that contained any of that, but if he hadn't, the thinking, the perception of it would have been, of the war in America before entering the war, would have been very different.
Mold develops security systems.
It's done.
Wow, Shimshon. What is your name, Igor?
Blazkowicz.
Blazkowicz, yes, Blazkowicz. So, now the security systems are disabled. You can go past this gate, back through the factory, out the blue gate inside Block 6 where the command control building is located. Sneak inside, get the detonic battery. Please act urgently before anyone notices what you have done. Ve'atzlacha, Ingele.
What's that?
That's good luck.
But yeah, The Great Dictator is a good movie, so I do recommend that. But also, The Password is Courage. Both the movie and especially the book. Which, in case you are... I don't remember if it's printed anymore. But there is an ebook version, a Kindle version. That's the copy I have and how I read it.
Here we are. Camp Command Building.
But one thing in it that is interesting is that the guy actually ended up getting the nickname the Baron of Auschwitz. And the reason why is because, you see, the Nazis would actually allow some prisoners to leave. Because there would be errands and such that need to be run. Like, well, his underground contact was an optometrist in the area. So if a prisoner of a POW needed, like, new eyeglasses or something, that prisoner might not go. But he would. He would go and pick them up, and different things like that. He would be the one that would run errands. Well, he made a point of always, like, being in his dress uniform for it. Or at least always being very clean. You know, he wanted to present himself very well when in the public. What did I just grab? I honestly don't know what I just grabbed. And eventually the guards, because he was never going alone, there was always a guard that would go with him, they would start calling him the Baron of Auschwitz because of that focus on always looking good, but also it ended up becoming a little bit of an issue in a way to the Nazis running the camp, because he would be dressed better than the guards. So they ended up having to, like, be in full dress uniform so that there would never be a time that a prisoner looked better than them. But something else, though, that is in that book, is captured in the book. I don't recall it being in the movie, though. Well, yeah, because the movie doesn't really touch on him being allowed to leave. Under guard, but still, they have him always sneaking away. Is that there's one scene where he's on a bus. Oh, crap. And what ends up happening is, I think it's specifically a woman who references, like, having a brother that is in the war, who just starts berating him and insulting him and such. And he just, you know, sort of stood, you know, was sort of taking it, but his, the Nazi guard with him actually started yelling back at her. Because he recognized the fact that, no, you treat POWs well, because if the, because, you know, there are POWs of our boys. So you don't want to treat their POWs badly, because then they may treat our POWs badly. Alright. Oh, crap.
Look at you. Dad's apostle. So proud of yourself.
There. Anyway. Where's the other way tape? No. Okay. Well, it's got armor, but I don't. Alright. I think that's everyone. So I can grab this battery, then get grabbed.
Ein Saboteur! Hier, den erkenne ich von der Selektion wieder.
Nein, noch davor, Bobby. Der Nachtzug.
Meine Güte, ja, du hast recht. Seinem Abzeichensurteil ist ein Amerikaner und ein Anarchist, hä?
Ein Amerikaner? Gut. Sofortige Liquidierung von ihm und allen Insassen von Block 4. Sollte eine eindrückliche Warnung sein für all die Schweine, die an einen Aufstand gedacht haben. Alarmiert sie an Faust.
Jawohl, Lagerkommandant. Dabei muss ich aber nicht dabei sein, oder? Der Gestank dieses Ortes, ne?
Mach, was du willst. What were you thinking, you stupid idiot?
Apparently not thinking grabbing a powerful battery with your bare hand isn't always a smart idea.
You have it!
But I still don't understand why they wouldn't take it from me.
Soll das? Leuchte dein Befehl, verdammter Blecheimer!
For your crime, you will die like vermin. I will hunt you down. To the end of the earth I will fight you. Your skin charred, your fats rendered, your kind exterminated. In the end I will feed your flesh to the furnace.
I really don't think that those would be cut so easy.
Take a seat, big man. Now we're free, everyone. Understand? We return to the camp. Open the garage door, steal a vehicle, and crash through the gate. Let's go.
Up. Oh, yep. There it is. Oh, okay. I don't want them to have any cover. Hang on. There we go.
Hey! I'm opening the gates, Mr. Blazkowicz! Protect them, Mr. Blazkowicz! Now the truck, take that vehicle! Wait for us! We will lead the way!
Alright. I was actually trying to get more armor for it, but that's fine. Where am I going? Okay, there we go.
No one leaves my camp. Hate to make compliments, but I might have underestimated the usefulness of your ape-like physique, Mr. Blazkowicz. doubt you should. Tell me, what is it?
Das Yichud is an ancient, mystical society. For millennia, we have operated with utmost secrecy up until right now.
What do? Do you pray?
No, Mamale, we don't pray. We invent things, Mamale. The technology developed by Das Yichud is centuries ahead of anything you've ever seen or imagined, and highly dangerous in the wrong hands. And the Nazis found our safekeeping. They stole our secrets. They used them to win the war. Everything they have accomplished, everything was built upon our knowledge. But it wasn't our only safekeeper. We have hundreds of them hidden in the secret places of the world. Hundreds, some small and tentative like the ones the Nazis found. Others, great halls of knowledge stacked high, magnificent inventions, things that to you will seem like magic. Now, I can open for you the gates to such a place. Getting there will be a challenge.
What will it take?
Well, the safekeeper's hidden deep below the Atlantic Ocean. We will need a U-boat capable of great depths, that's all.
Stealing a goddamn Nazi U-boat? This is what you're proposing? Are you off your head, man?
I know how to get a U-boat, but for my plan to work, I need this thing operational. Can you do it?
I'm a Das Yichud engineer. I can do this in my sleep.
Good. We will need some additional features on it, too. I will prepare a specification for you. Blazkowicz, help him out, sir, if you'd be so kind.
Yes. Okay. I just want. Oh. That actually I should be trying to get. Okay. But for right now, I'm going to stop so that because it's the end of a chapter. All right. See you next time.